Great. Panina, are you reading them out loud or?
Oh, no. Am I starting
Putting it
now?
on the side. Oh, there it is. Okay. No, that's all right.
I'm waiting for the Messiah.
Wow, this is a long list.
Okay, so I'll start reading it. So, Aryeh, thank you so much. We're excited to hear it for Torah, and it should really bring refuah shlema to everyone that is not feeling well right now. I'll start the list. Chaya Gittel, Bas Rosa, Stephen Ben Francha, Yishaya Daniel Ben Ariel Techia, Rachel Yocheved Bas Chana, Shaul Ben Rivka, Yechiel Ben Chaya Sarah, Aryeh David Ben Miriam, Baruch Bendit Ben Via, Rabbi Barry Nathan, Razel Bat Malia, Revital Bat Dalia, Naomi Cole, Esther Freda Bastina, Rav Shimon David Ben Gittel, Rachel Blima Bat Yita, Yocheved Aviyah Bas Shifra, Yosef Yerachmiel Ben Chai Rivka, David Mordechai Ben Matil Yehudis, Chaim Aryeh Zev Ben Adel, Kalman Chaim Ben Esther, Hadassah Bracha Bas Sarah Bela, Chaya Gittel Bas Recha Devora, Shaul Zev Ben Devora, Svia Dubu Bas Yenta, Golda Bas Shandel. Hi. We're just doing refuah shlema, reading out the names. Via Dubu Ben Yenta, Golda Bas Shandel. Oh, I just read things, sorry. Avraham Schneier Ben Malka Kradel, Leba Bas Shana Sarah, Shmuel Zanvil Ben Malka Shandel, Eliyahu Yaakov Ben Miriam Gittel, Tzvi Ben Bunasara, Yael Eliza Bas Tzipora. I'm not over, unfortunately. Mayor David Ben Firma Hadassah, Hendel Riva Bas Etzel Zlata, Chaya Meir Ben Chaya Fega, Harav Aryeh Lee Ben Chaya Soro, Miriam Bas Sarah, Avram Aaron Ben Brindel, Bracha Bat Freya, Chana Edel Bas Miriam, Mayor Ben Moshe Ben Miriam, Elisha Rivka Bas Sarah, Etzel Yair, and also United Hatzela Eli Beer. I don't see his name here, but I don't remember by heart, so we should also have him. He's in the process of being recovering, so everyone should have a refuah shlema. If there's anyone I didn't add, or if you guys want to tell me more names, I can add them. Tomorrow we just read a very long list of people. I don't know if you heard it, unfortunately.
That's a list people have been sending you personally?
No, there's a group that basically keeps updating it. So those are all names that people kept editing and adding in.
You have the list from what we have on the shear. I'm going to send it to you.
Yeah, send that to me. They might be in there, but yeah, send it.
Yeah, it probably has a few doubles.
Gempel Mordechai, Daniel Ben Sarah Ita, Rabbi Shalom, Dovner Ben Rachel Bela, Avram Chai Ben Sarah Shandel, Baruch Shmuel Ben Chaya Sarah, Miriam Rachel Bat Meital, Shimon Ben Dada, Eliezer Yehuda Ben Chaya, that was Eli Bir, Ben Sion Tzvi Ben Chaya Yehudis Esther, which is Rabbi Klatzko from Shabbat.com. For Shalema.
Are you guys seeing, by the way, shared screen? I'm trying to share my screen because I have some sources that I want to share, but I don't think it's working.
No, not seeing shared from you.
No, I'm not seeing anything either.
Come on, Aryeh, do about peh. We know you know about peh. Don't be such a nonno.
Right? But I want to share this stuff with you.
That's
You click share screen?
I click share screen, but I think there's an issue with my computer. There's some sort of firewall that's not allowing me to share it, which is really frustrating. Because
is it a work computer and
yeah,
the firewall on?
I think I do with
no, the problem is that they have the firewall even when I'm not in the network. If you give me 1 minute, let me see if I can just grab another computer.
You have 1 minute. Just kidding. Shoot, go back.
Tamar, how's it in New Jersey? You look nice.
Oh, I went outside to run. Why can't I get back to close participants chat? Go back from chat. Shoot. People are asking. Oh, participants. Okay, there. Admit. Who is this? This is a weird name. Oh, that's Alana. I think that's Alana.
Able to share if I'm not the host? Is that maybe the issue?
No, you 100% you can share. I could share my screen. Anybody want to see my?
You can.
Okay.
They see is you.
Okay, I should be able. I should be able to join through this other. Somebody else sharing. Okay,
Yeah, I just wanted to show you that it's possible.
got it. Okay, I'm going to log in with the other computer, and I'll look up the sources as we go. Somebody have the number, the meeting ID?
Yeah. It is 734 47.
If you're having,
All right, hold on, I can't.
if you're having problems with it, you can just send it to someone else, and they'll share their screen.
Gotcha. But it's a whole bunch of pages.
That's true, but Aryeh, that worked. You were able to do it last time. That's the meeting ID. So you still want me to read it out loud?
No, I got it.
Oh, look who's joining us. Wow. Judah Kraut. Oh, Aryeh's got it. Judah Kraut. What an honor.
Oh, what's up? Who's here?
I knew you were here for Aryeh, but
All right, I'm going to get off this one. Okay, there we go.
oh yay, we hit 10 people. Awesome. I am gonna create a second Zoom just in case of timing.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, we shouldn't have that issue, but we'll see. All right, now I gotta.
We can start, Aryeh, as soon as you're ready. No rush, but as soon as you're ready, we can mute people and you can start. So just.
Yeah. Just. I had pulled up all these screens that I wanted to share, and now I gotta find them again. But it shouldn't be too bad. Okay. See if I can do this simultaneously. Yeah.
When you're ready, I'll just do a quick intro, like a.
Yeah, go ahead. You can do the
Okay.
intro.
Okay. Oh, someone else made it just in time. Okay, guys, thank you everyone for joining us. It's the 5th Westside Wednesdays Virtual Share. Here is dedicated to Rem Yitzchak Ben Chana, Zechrono Livracha, passed away last week, and all the Refuah Shleimas that Penina mentioned. And thank you, Aryeh, for speaking this week. And Aryeh's shir, which was the second shir in this series, is also available on YouTube and along with recording for this after this year. So with that, I will turn it over to Aryeh. I'm going to mute everyone. That was someone else. I'm going to mute everyone. If anyone has any issues, just directly message me either on WhatsApp or send me a message on the chat. I'm going to mute everyone and unmute.
Okay, did it work? Yeah.
Yeah, it's working.
Great. Okay, so today we're going to talk about the missing fifth. And this is based on a shir given by Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, who I often like to quote because he's really good. So here we go. Many commentators, among them the Vilna Gaon, and I had a picture of the Vilna Gaon up. For those that don't know who that was, he was a brilliant man, hence the name Gaon, which refers to his brilliance, who lived in the 1700s. There is what people believe is a picture of him. You guys can see that, right? And he was the head of the Lithuanian yeshiva philosophy. Most of the Litvish yeshivas that kind of started, including Mir and all the other famous Litvish yeshivas that you've heard of, all kind of were sourced back to him and his student, and Reb Chaim Vital, I believe. Aaron can attest to whether or not this is accurate. And he was both a master of mathematics, philosophy, Hebrew literature, and just a whole host of different things, aside from obviously being a Gaon in Talmud and writing many different halachic books. So, all right, I'm just trying to maneuver this this document. Okay, so many commentators, among them the Vilna Gaon, have drawn attention to the influence of the number 4 in connection with the Haggadah. So there are 4 groups of 4. What are the 4 groups of 4? Can anybody, I'm trying to make this slightly interactive. You can unmute and let me know if you have it. What are the 4 groups of 4?
The
Cups of wine.
4 cups,
4
4
cups.
4 brothers, 4 cups, and oh wait, there's 5 things, 5 lush. So I got 4 brothers and 4 cups. Can't get
Okay. What else do we got?
4
4
questions.
sons, by the way, right? Because the Torah is talking about the father speaking to his sons.
4 questions.
4 questions. And there's one more.
4 types of geula.
Right.
There are 5.
Well, what are the 4 types of geula before we get to 5? Because that's part of what we're going to talk about.
Atenti, Salti, Ga'alti, Lakachti.
Right? Tzesi v'tzalti v'ga'alti v'lakachti. I will bring you out. Well, Tzesi is I will bring you out from the Golus Mitzrayim. V'tzalti is I will free you from Egypt. V'ga'alti, I'm going to deliver you with a demonstration of power. And v'lakachti, I will take you to me as a nation. Those are the 4 Lashonos Shel Geula, the 4 phrases of redemption. So it may be, and if you guys can just, there's an echo, so if you can just get back on mute for a sec. No problem. It may be, though, that just the way that an X-ray can reveal an earlier painting behind the surface of a later one, similarly, if we look into the Haggadah and we look into the sources, we can reveal another pattern beneath the Haggadah as we have it in existence today. So the first thing to note is that in addition to the 4 groups of 4 that we just discussed, the 4 questions, the 4 sons, 4 cups of wine, and the Arba Lashonos Shel Geula, there's a 5th. There's a 5th group of 4. Does anybody know what the 5th group is? What I might be referring to? So the 5th group that I'm referring to is the psukim, the verses in the Torah that we darshan, that we study in the context of the Haggadah, right? The Haggadah spends a whole bunch of time studying 4 psukim. It darshans, it learns out different things from words within those 4 psukim. The 4 psukim are in Dvarim. In Perek Chaf Vav, and so I'm going to show you this right here. In Perek Chavav, we have the 4 psukim that are discussed in great detail in the Haggadah. And what's going on in Perek Vav? It's the discussion of the Bikurim. What are the Bikurim? So when a farmer, every year, a farmer has the first fruits, the generally the nicest fruits, the most plump, the most delicious fruits that he harvests. What he's supposed to do is, rather than eat those, he saves them for God. And he places them into a basket. He brings them up to Yerushalayim, to the Bet HaMikdash, and over there, he offers it up on the Mizbeach. That is the korban, the sacrifice of the Bikurim, and it's discussed in Barim Perek Chavav. And if you look the psukim, and you'll recognize these psukim from the Haggadah. Okay, so just briefly, starts off, you're going to enter the land of Israel, you're going to take the first fruit, you'll go to the Kohen, and you'll start speaking in front of the Kohen, and you'll say, I acknowledge this day before God that I've entered the land. The Kohen then takes the basket of first fruits, he puts it down in front of the Mizbeach, and then the Kohen starts saying certain things, and you respond, you, the farmer, responds after him, presumably because most of the people in that day were illiterate. They weren't able to say the psukim or read the psukim themselves, so they would respond, they would repeat after the Kohen. And what would the Kohen say? Vanisa, and you would repeat via Marta. The farmer would say, Lefnei Hashem Elokecha, Arami Oved Avi, my father was a fugitive Aramean, Vayered Mitzrayma, and he went down to Egypt, Vayagar Sham, and he sojourned there, he lived there briefly, Bimsei Ma'at, small in number, Vayisham, Lego Gadol Atzim Barav, he became a great nation there, Vayareu Asanu HaMitzrim, the Egyptians dealt harshly, Vayanunu, they oppressed us, Vayitnu Aleinu Avodah Kasha, they made us do hard labor, Vanitzak Al Hashem Elokei Avosenu, we cried out to God, Vayishma Hashem Es Kolenu, God heard our cries, Vayaris Anyenu, our plight, Vesamalenu Veslachsenu, our misery, our oppression, Vayotzienu Hashem Mitzrayim B'yochazrako V'zroin Netuim B'mora Gadol V'osasu B'mosim, and God took us out of Egypt with a strong hand, mighty arm, and with miracles, with signs, and with portents, and I'm not sure what portents, mofsim, different types of miracles. Okay, so there are 4 verses here. Verses, the 4 verses rather that that darshan that are studied in the Haggadah are verses 5 through 8. The one that starts off the Anisa, Vanitzak, and Vayotzienu. Sorry, somebody. Those are the 4 verses that we speak about in the course of the Haggadah. So that is the 5th group of 4. In addition to the 4 questions, 4 cups of wine, 4 sons, and Arba Lashonos Shagu'ula, we now have the 5th group of 4, the 4 psukim that we discuss in the Haggadah. In early editions of Gemara Psachim, Daf Kuf Yud Tes Amid Aleph, there is a passage there that is quite perplexing. What does it say? Rabbi Tarfon was an Amora, I believe, or a Tana, Aaron? Tana or Amora? All right, when he figures out mute, we might get an answer.
I muted everyone, but I can unmute everyone. Just depends. I don't want the noise that comes in. So if you're going to ask a question, just give me a second. I'll unmute everyone, okay?
No worries.
Okay. Everyone's unmuted.
Reb Tarfon, I believe he's a Tana. Aaron, if he's a Tana, 1 finger, Amora, 2 fingers. Oh, Aaron may have gone to sleep.
That's a good idea. No, Gerstel's there, but he's
Gotcha. Okay. So Reb Tarfon says,
Reb Tarfon was a Tana.
Thank you. Reb Tarfon says, over the 5th cup,
there's the Mishnah and Brachas with Reb Tarfon where he laid down for Kriyashma, right?
It could be.
Whatever.
Don't remember offhand, but wasn't he one of the 5 Kanon that was sitting around reading the Haggadah? Was that Reb Tarfon? Reb Tarfon said, over the 5th cup, we say the Halal Haggadah. We recite the Halal Haggadah. And the question everybody asks is, 5th cup, where did that come from? Right? We don't know anything about a 5th cup. In fact, the Mishnah, when it talks about cups, the Mishnah in Psachim says, and I'll read it to you, Va'afilu ani shebi Yisrael, even the poorest person among the Jewish people, lo yochal ad sheyasev, should not eat the Pesach until he reclines. V'lo yifchatu lo me'arba kosot shel yain. We do not get for him, meaning the community is responsible to take care of the poor people. And they used to have charity boxes. There was something called a kupa, and there was something called a tamchoi, different types of charity that the community was responsible for. And you're supposed to take money from those charity boxes and make sure that at the very least, every single person, even the poorest person, has 4 cups. The Mishnah says, even from the tamchoi, even from this charity box, you're supposed to take out money. You would think, okay, you want to give them 1 glass of wine, right? You're not supposed to use the charity box for things that are unnecessary, except for, basic fundamental requirements. But what the Mishnah tells us is 4 cups of wine is a fundamental requirement. It's the mitzvah. The mitzvah is 4 cups of wine. So then the question is, where does Rav Tarfon come up with this 5th cup? Who said anything about the 5th cup? So the medieval commentators, they were puzzled by this. And they didn't understand where Rav Tarfon came up with the 5th cup. So you have a 3-way machlokes, a 3-way disagreement between the medieval commentators, and I mean, the commentators that what are referred to as the Rishonim, the ones that lived sometime between approximately 900 and 1500 or 1400 AD. So you have the famous Rashi and Tosfos. Everybody knows Rashi was a French Rishon. The Tosfos were primarily from Germany, or what is modern-day Germany. And they said, you know what? 4 cups is what the obligation is, 4 cups and no more. What about the fact that it talks about a 5th cup here? Reb Tarfon says there's a 5th cup. So Rashi and Tosfos both say, no, it's forbidden to drink a 5th cup. And in fact, the Gemara that we have nowadays is a mistake. The Gemara that we had that says, that Reb Tarfon says you drink a 5th cup, it's a mistake. It should be 4th cup. Reb Tarfon actually said, on the 4th cup, you say the halal. And in fact, in today's editions of the Talmud, it is indeed corrected to say that Reb Tarfon Shita is that you have 4 cups. Now, why is it forbidden? I can understand that they say, that the mitzvah is actually 4 cups, but why is it forbidden to have a 5th cup? This is a question to be pushed out to the audience. Anybody have an idea why a 5th cup is forbidden?
For the question, is it a 5th cup period or a 5th cup as a mitzvah? Because according to Ashkenazim, each cup is a separate mitzvah, and according to Sephardim, like the first 2 cups is 1 bracha, the second 2 cups is a second bracha. So I need more clarification on the question.
The question is whether the 5th cup is prohibited to drink.
Al Taisif.
But for Ashkenazim and some Sephardim do have a 5th cup,
We'll get to that
which is designated as Shel Eliyahu, which you're not supposed to drink. So are you saying, are you not supposed to drink that specific cup? Or is it you're just not allowed to have another cup, whatever it comes from?
So we're going to get to those opinions that say that you should have a 5th cup. Right now, we're just focused on Rashi and Tosfos, who say that it's forbidden to have a 5th cup.
Al Taisif.
Yeah. So Aaron's right. There is a prohibition generally.
Yeah!
There is a prohibition generally in the Torah to add on to mitzvot. And there's a logical explanation for this, and there's also a biblical basis for this. The biblical basis is there's a verse in the Torah, Eis kol hadavar asher anochi mitzaveh eschem osot tishmoru. Those mitzvos that I commanded you, those you should do, lasot, lo tosef alav velo sigra mimenu. You shouldn't add, you shouldn't detract. Now, what's wrong with adding to a mitzvah, right? You would think that you can add to a mitzvah whenever you want. It's a good thing. There's mitzvahs, and then, you add stuff to the mitzvah. The answer to that is, as a logical matter, if people start adding to the mitzvot, you'll add a whole bunch of things. People that are not knowledgeable about where the sources are, they'll start thinking that those mitzvot are as important as the ones that are actually biblically required. And then if they see somebody that's not doing those mitzvot, or they themselves become lax on those mitzvot, they're going to become lax on the actual biblical laws. So there's actually a prohibition against adding to the mitzvot. Now, there are chumrot, I don't know how to say it, but there are chumras that we add. We are stricter about certain laws. That's not the same thing as adding on an entirely new thing. So in this case, adding on a fifth cup would be a issue of Baal Tosef, and therefore, according to both Rashi and Tosfot, it is prohibited to add a fifth cup. The second opinion is that of the Rambam, Maimonides, who is a Spanish authority. And Maimonides said that it is not an obligation to drink the fifth cup. It's optional. He disagreed with Rashi and Tosfos. He said it's not prohibited, but it's optional. You can if you'd like. The Ravid, who lived in Provence, which is an area within France, and was a contemporary of the Rambam and often argued on the Rambam, the Ravid says that it's not prohibited. He disagreed with Rashi and Tosfos. He said it's not prohibited, but he didn't agree with what the Rambam said, which is that it's optional. He went further. He said it's a mitzvah. He said it's not a biblical mitzvah, but it is a good thing. It is a significantly good thing that you should do. So the Rambam said you could do, the Ravid said you should do. And that's the machlokas between Rashi and Tosfos on one hand, the Rambam who says you could if you'd like, and the Ravid who says you should drink the fifth cup. So how do we paskin? What do we actually do halachically nowadays? So as I believe it was Jake pointed out before, what we do is we kind of take all those opinions together because we'd like to come out halachically and do something that could work according to all the opinions. So Rashi and Tosa says you're not allowed to drink the fifth cup. So we don't drink the fifth cup, but we do have a fifth cup. And we pour that fifth cup. And we pour that fifth cup for Aliyah, right? And we pour it before Shvo Chamascha, and Aliyah comes in. So that's the way that the halacha is currently because of this three-way machlokas. Now, can anyone explain how we got to Eliyahu Hanavi, right? We went from a three-way machlokas about whether or not Reb Tarfon's words about there being a fifth cup is accurate or is it a mistake in the Gemara. We went from there to pouring the cup for Eliyahu. What's the connection? Does anybody have any idea?
I unmuted, but I think people don't necessarily want to be unmuted. So, just Alana.
Does it have anything to do with Veheveti?
It does eventually, but the question is, what does it have to do with Eliyahu?
Well, sorry. Hi, it's Leora. I don't know if you can hear me.
Hey, yep.
Maybe it's like the same idea of like on Shabbat, we have angels that come to visit us and like bless at the beginning of a meal. Maybe we wanted to have like a reminiscent of like another angel coming to like give us a bracha at the end, but instead of it being like too much, I don't know, like avodah zarah, we don't like actually want to drink from the cup, or we just leave it aside, or I don't know. These are just thoughts. I've never heard any commentary.
Yeah, no, that's an interesting idea for sure. And it is kind of reminiscent of what we do on Shabbos with the Malachim. It's a great idea. There's, but specifically Eliyahu. So it's interesting. If anybody's familiar with the concept of teku, in Gemara, when you study Gemara and there's a argument, there's a machlokas between either two or more sources, individuals, and we don't know how to ultimately poskin. We don't know how to ultimately resolve the disagreement. We say teku. We say that we're going to leave it for Eliyahu Hanavi, and that when Eliyahu Hanavi comes to announce the Mashiach, in addition to announcing the Mashiach and announcing the redemption, he's also going to answer all the questions, all the halachic questions that remain outstanding. And what is teku?
Yeah, last night there was a big storm, and I lost the internet at the house. So the only place.
What does teku stand for? Tishbi Yitaretz Kushyot Bibayot. Tishbi refers to who? Eliyahu HaTishbi, right? He was from Tishbi. He's going to resolve all the questions, all the Kushyot Bibayot, which refers to the questions that remain outstanding. So that's whenever there's an argument in the Gemara and we don't have a result, we say teku. We'll leave it up to Eliyahu. So this discussion about whether or not there is a fifth cup is going to be left up to Eliyahu. Right now, we have this three-way machlokus between various Rishonim, and we don't have a response. We don't have an ultimate determination. So it's left up to Eliyahu. So symbolic of the fact that whether or not this fifth cup should exist is left up to Eliyahu, we associate it with Eliyahu, and we have Eliyahu come and visit the Seder. And Lior, you make a fair point that the concept of somebody coming to visit the Seder may very well be associated with Shabbos, for example. But why it's Eliyahu specifically? Because it relates to this concept of teku. It's sort of a flag to this machlokas, this three-way machlokas about whether or not we're permitted to drink the fifth cup. Okay, so according to the Yerushalmi, okay, so we're setting that aside for the moment. We know that there is an idea of a fifth cup of wine.
Aryeh, if we're about to just go to another topic, can we switch to the next Zoom? Because there's like less than 3 minutes, just not to cut you off.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, everyone just hold on a second.
Aryeh, can I ask you a question though, as long as we're going to switch over anyway?
Sure.
So the idea of have the fifth cup being Eliyahu is because teku, we don't know whether or not we're supposed to drink it. So, and maybe I'm crazy, but I remember like a concept, like as a child, we put out the fifth cup for Eliyahu because theoretically he drinks it. So is that where that comes from, or am I making that up?
I think it's something that we've probably all heard, that Eliyahu drinks the fifth cup. That's not the same source as this. I don't know if that's actually rooted in anything halachically.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay, guys, everyone go to I just put it in the group chat. If everyone can move over to there, and then I'll close this meeting.
Because it's really something that has been an incredible success.
Tomorrow I'm posting it, okay?
So much.
Going to take care of these businesses and keep them open. I want to thank the many governors, health professionals, scientists, and business leaders for their
Playing Trump.
work.
Oh wait, who's playing Trump?
I don't know.
I'm just muting everyone. Yeah, guys, everyone just join the next one. Aryeh, as soon as everyone's off, I will end this. The next one.
Got it? The next one.
And I'll WhatsApp it to you also. Okay. Christelle, are you going? Aaron, you got it?
No, where is it?
In the chat. Do you see it? It's in the chat.
Yeah, but how do I guess I have to copy the link. Okay.
What's your number? You're not on here. Oh God.
It's okay. I'll do it.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. And they were putting into the 2 shirim that you'll get it on Westside Wednesdays also.
Yeah. Okay.
Got it? Otherwise, just check Facebook. Okay?
Yep.